Well, what a game this was. We talked about this. It's really the game of the week. Probably should have been the primetime game on Sunday, but we saw just an absolute, wire-to-wire exciting matchup between these two football teams. I'm going to talk about it all. Why Tennessee was able to get up so much in the beginning. Well, not so much, but why they were able to look so good in the beginning. Kind of how things were going, why it looked like they were controlling the game. Obviously, the big strip sack late, and also the little things Jacksonville did well to get themselves in position to do that. Also, the things they did poorly to get themselves in bad situations. So much fun to talk about. Let's just get into it. So the first storyline that would emerge in this game would be fourth down decisions. First, we saw one by Jacksonville. It's a 4th down and 1. And in fairness, they're at their own 34-yard line. So I totally get why some people would say you can never go for it here. What do the analytics say, though? The analytics say that the recommendation is to go for it at this spot. Again, the odds of getting 1 yard are very high. They have it as a 69% success rate. Also, keeping possession is just always going to be more valuable than field position. It just pretty much always is. Instead, Jacksonville decided not to do it, which again, it's a decision you can make. It's not a decision I expect every coach to make, is to go for it there. Personally, I would have gone for it there. I think that would have been the correct play, and especially knowing what we know now of them only getting 3 possessions in the first half, maybe they would have gone for it had they known that was going to happen. And meanwhile, for Tennessee, they did the opposite. I think Tennessee came into the game feeling like they were underdogs. They were going to have to do this kind of stuff. They were going to have to really play smart here, and that's what they did first by going for it on 4th down. So 4th down and 3, again, it's a decision. I don't expect every coach to go for it here, but what do the analytics say? It actually says its recommendation was strong here. The 4th down decision bot said to go for it. And again, thinking about it, it makes some sense. The odds of getting it are a 47% success rate, so, just under 50-50. But if you punt it right here, all you're gaining is field position, and you're not even gaining a ton of field position if you do it. So this is why going for it tends to be the correct play, and even if you don't get it, it's not a guarantee they get points on the next drive anyway. So that field position probably only gets you about a point, and obviously keeping possession would get you way more than a point expected. So they're going to go for it. This would be the play concept. It's going to be just a, sort of a rub route / pick play. You have 2 receivers, though, running kind of over the middle. Another receiver, Hooper, he's going to be the one running underneath. Feels like Tennessee was ready for Jacksonville when they were going to be running this type of coverage. Felt like Tennessee expected a lot of, cover 1 man on a 3rd or 4th down and short. That might be part of why they felt so willing to go for it on these 4th downs, is they felt confident that they could run these types of plays up to 1st down on a crucial play. So again, but it isn't, because the reason why it's not offensive pass interference is it wasn't 1 yard past the line of scrimmage, so therefore you are allowed to do that. So again, it's just smart football there by Tennessee. That's really what it was. Heading over here, this was another good sort of 1-2 punch by Tennessee, where what's going to happen is, again, the ground game definitely a factor for several reasons. Like I said, felt like the Titans had a bit of an underdog approach here. So if you feel like you're the underdog, limiting possessions is a great way to steal victories. You see this happen all the time, where when a big upset happens, a lot of times it happens because each team only gets 8 possessions instead of your typical 12 possessions. This was a clear strategy that the Titans had, and again, it helps to do it when you have a guy like Derrick Henry. Watch this run, and it's going to be a very effective run, right? It's able to pick up a 1st down. Not like he's able to do that every time, but the reality is when he's able to pick up yards, and that can be a big part of your offense, is to just give the ball to Derrick Henry. Does so many different things. It makes it so much easier for you to win. But one of the ways is with something like this. This is one of the ways that it really helps you, is setting up the play action. Of course, it does other stuff, keeps your guys rested, like I said, limits possessions. But something like this, where you're going to run a play action on this play, the Jaguars are in zone coverage, and with a receiver running over the middle, against play action, this can be a deadly route. With the linebackers moving in, throwing over the top of them can be really, really effective. So the deep corner on that play, he's going to cover that receiver. You just know he's going to. So when you swing a tight end over to get to where that deep corner should be, that's how you can get someone open. Watch as Dobbs is going to run this play action, and you're going to see that once he throws it, he has someone who is wide open right here. There's several guys you can give credit to for getting someone open. You can give credit to the coaching staff, of course. Derrick Henry might deserve the most credit, even though he doesn't touch the football. But just because someone's open doesn't mean it's going to be a catch. Dobbs has to make the throw. As you see, that's exactly what he does, and they are able to get the touchdown. So again, It's just smart football. It's understanding what they have and using what they have to the best of their abilities to try to get as many points as possible. But to be honest, I actually thought that Jacksonville's offense was not playing poorly. Even in the first half where they only put up 7 points, 7 points in 3 drives is actually pretty good. You'll take that. It's just that, they only had the 3 drives. And, think about the 3 drives. It was a 4th down and 1 that they didn't go on, a fumble, and then a touchdown. I mean, that's pretty good. Let's talk about the touchdown, which was, it was helped by a good run for sure, but they still had to then go 50 yards and get the touchdown. And this is the play that they would do it. Pretty simple concept, but one that works. And this is a lot of what they were doing when they were moving the ball. It's zone coverage. You're going to have a receiver who's going to run a deep route that tries to just take away the safety. And if he does that, you can throw underneath the safety to, sort of over the middle. That's the way this play works. So who's going to cover Christian Kirk? That's the guy who's currently lined up towards the bottom of the screen, running towards the top of the screen, the one whose route I've circled in white. It's going to be Roger McCreary, the corner who is on that side of the field. He's going to have to go over to that side of the field and cover him, and that's where things can get difficult as, he's going to naturally have the outside leverage, and the route is going to go towards the inside. Look at how, when this play begins, you see that once Lawrence eventually makes this throw, well blocked in front, to give him the time to make this throw, Kirk is able to get wide open, and hey, everyone talking about his contract, well, if you're getting this open in big games, then, they don't care how much you're paying you. And, good route by him. But also, again, good concept by Doug Peterson. All the praise that we're given to Vrabel, and rightfully so, Peterson deserves his flowers as well for some of the stuff he's doing offensively. As you see, Lawrence, of course, makes a perfect throw. Lawrence, we've gotten used to it at this point. Lawrence doesn't miss those throws at this point. We just know that he's going to make those. Or will he? I mean, listen, whatever you want to say, however you want to say it, this is a bad play from Lawrence. It was, however bad you want to make it, I'll let you be the judge. But it was a bad play. It was a missed throw in a key spot. 3rd down and 7 at the 8-yard line here. Lawrence would take the snap and eventually, wait for Zay Jones to get wide open. The one thing I have to say about this, though, not to fully excuse it, was when Lawrence made the throw, it wasn't as open as it ended up being. So, while yes, in hindsight, he could have, made it a lot, put it in a different spot and guaranteed a catch, I don't know if he knew that it was going to get that open. That being said, he doesn't even give Zay Jones a chance here as it goes over his head, and you have to at least give him a chance. So it really is an inexcusable missed throw there, and it's unfortunate because obviously, I mean what I said. He doesn't really miss those throws. It was just a very uncharacteristic play in a really brutal spot that cost them 4 points. We saw this play, which was a mistake by Dobbs. Both quarterbacks definitely had their mistakes in this one, although definitely had their good plays as well. What's going to happen here is that it's going to be a zone coverage play, and while this is a mistake, it's also going to be, pressure that's going to help set up this mistake, and that started to become a trend late in this one, as while offenses were doing well in the first half, kind of why defenses took over was in big ways because of the pressure taking over. So you have Treylon Burks, who's running a deep route. It's going to be against zone coverage, and it's a 3rd and 17, which feels like a very risky play, but every now and then these can get open. Typically I'm a fan of, hey, just run it, see what happens. If it doesn't work out, I think there's more value in that than just gaining the 5 yards from running a halfback draw. But watch as when this play begins, what you're going to see is that Dobbs makes his throw, but you saw that there was pressure earlier from Arden Key. I think that affected the play. Now, he didn't actually hit Dobbs before he got there, but I still think it affected the play enough because it kind of got him to make the throw a little bit earlier, or maybe have to make it over Key. So I would still say, Arden Key had a great game. I would say that was probably what caused this to be a bit underthrown. And you see that, if this is a perfect throw, there's actually some real danger here. This actually, I don't know what exactly happened when the camera wasn't there, but there should be a safety over the top. There's not right now. This could have been a really dangerous play. However, it's dangerous in the other way as it's intercepted. Have to say, you're going to see a blindside block right there on Burks. I'll show it a couple times. I think people get confused about what a blindside block is, and it's not people's fault. It's a very poorly named thing because you can blindside block someone even if they see you coming, which is, that's not what the name implies. But a blindside block is just when you block someone towards your own end zone with significant force. To me, this is a clear blindside block. I don't get how it gets called, but again, missed calls happen in the game. It's football. It does happen. But that was obviously a huge difference in field position. Jacksonville would have had the ball at their own 35 instead of at Tennessee's 25. Now, heading over here, we saw pressure the other way, as this would be Tennessee using pressure to keep the lead, essentially, on the first play of the fourth quarter, where it's a cover one blitz. So the real thing about a blitz, you wonder, well, why do you blitz? In a situation like this, when you're rushing 5, what it does is, they have 5 blockers, 5 rushers. Everyone gets a one-on-one matchup. This can be effective in certain spots, but again, what makes it really effective for a team like Tennessee to pick their spots and do it is it's giving Simmons, who is one of the best players in football, a one-on-one matchup, which is he's just going to win. Meanwhile, Christian Kirk also has a one-on-one matchup, which he's just been winning all night long. So it's kind of going to be who can win first. Usually it ends up being the receiver. However, look at how quick Simmons wins. I mean, that is very fast. Lawrence has to get rid of the ball in a hurry, but it still has a chance, right? Lawrence, had to hurry it up a little bit. There still is a chance this is complete. But watch Roger McCreary, good close out there. He did get beat initially, but good job of finishing off the play. Hey, you can always come back, right? It's not really true, but it's a good saying, and he was able to come back on that one to be able to help them, get the incompletion there. And then this play, which, again, it's just a tough play where I believe this is the zone blitz, what Tennessee is doing. And Marvin Jones running a route where he fakes as though he's running just a quick route towards the sideline, but then going deep. It's a good route. I like this route in this type of situation. Look at how when this play begins, Lawrence, for the most part, has a clean pocket. He gets hit after he throws, but has time to make the throw he wants to make. It does get open right here, and the reality is, it is a bit of a tough throw. There is some timing here, but I just think that you have to, at the very least, you have to make sure you put the ball in a position where it can be caught. Instead, as you see, it's over, his head off to the sideline, and it ends up being incomplete, which is just it's definitely a missed throw from Lawrence, which is unfortunate, because, again, it just, I don't know, just missed a couple throws. It is what it is. Like, that does happen. Every quarterback misses throws. Just sucks that it happens in this game. For Jacksonville, it kind of started to feel like maybe the defense had to come through and make a big play because, I thought there was a real chance Tennessee would just run out the clock right here, but make a big play the Jacksonville Jaguars defense would do. Not just a big play, a absolutely ginormous play. So they're showing a potential blitz right here. They have 5 guys on the line, so any of them could be potentially rushing the passer. But what they're doing is a bit more creative than that. They're still going to blitz, but it's like that, where you have someone who's set up as an edge rusher who's going to drop back into coverage. That will be Josh Allen. They're then going to have safety Rayshawn Jenkins. He's going to be the guy who's going to be blitzing off the edge. And really for Tennessee, just nobody picks this up. Like, watch that situation. Look, as you see, a halfback is blocking, but he doesn't expect that. And Dobbs never notices it. And it's kind of one of those one of those situations where you get hit right as you're thrown, right at the worst time. And you see Josh Allen right here, he did have a bit of a decision to make, right? He could have just fallen on the football, but he felt like there was not enough people around him that he could take this chance. Obviously, if you're going to take the chance to try and scoop it, you have to scoop it. But as you see, that's exactly what he does. Great job by him. Great job by Jenkins, and a great play concept. And maybe Dobbs could have picked it up as well. The Jaguars were able to hold on, win the game. Just an incredible, incredible game for Jacksonville.